Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. I hope you're doing so well. So today's reading, we're going to be looking at what don't you see coming in your life and what surprises might be in store for you. This is going to be an uplifting, positive reading. So we have three groups as usual. We have Solitude with the Hermit, group 1. We have Hope with the Star, group 2. And then we have the Base Chakra for group 3. So you may be drawn to one or more groups, and I will have the timestamps listed below, and then I'll see you for your reading. Hello group 1 and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Solitude card, which is the Hermit, number 9. Now for you, the main energy that I'm feeling as soon as I tune in is a peacefulness. I feel like what you don't see coming is a period of peace and quiet as well. Like I see a stillness and a silence around you. So I feel like that you might not see this coming because maybe your life has been quite busy or chaotic in certain ways, or you've had a lot of, I don't know, just seeing you going from a period of like noise to quiet. Like it might be even, the energy in a city, in a big city, how it's sort of like always noisy. There's sort of this hustle and bustle. And then when you move out into the country or you go on a trip or something, there is this like quietness, there's a peacefulness, there's a stillness, and there's sort of a natural soundscape around you rather than the kind of human soundscape of the city. So this is a kind of transition or contrast that I'm feeling in what you don't see coming. Like I feel like you're moving into a period where you're actually going to be supported. You might actually be supported to move house. Some of you might actually be relocating to the country or a place that's more secluded or that's more your own sanctuary, because I feel like something about this spirit is wanting to support you in having your own sanctuary, having a really safe space where you can cultivate a deeper level of inner peace and outer peace as well. And so there's something contrasting in the environment that you've been in recently, and that's why you don't see it coming. Like I feel like you've kind of adapted to the environment around you, but something about it hasn't necessarily suited you, or it isn't suiting the phase of your life that you're moving into. So I see more opportunities for solitude, stillness, quiet, and peace coming in, but they're coming in really, really effortlessly. Like this isn't something that I feel like you have to fight really hard for. I feel like this is something that is almost being gifted to you by the divine. I feel a new chapter of your life is opening up for you, and it is opening up in an unexpected way because, again, I keep seeing this energy where you've kind of adapted to an environment that you're in or to conditions in your life that may not be ideal, but you've kind of adapted to them the way that they are, and you've just grown like used to it. You've grown accustomed to things being a certain way, and then it's almost like all of a sudden or all at once, a new chapter begins in your life. And the conditions around you change. So you might be like having a shift happen because I feel something about your home, like a shift happening around your home. For some of you, it might be the opportunity to move house if that's what you desire. For others of you, this could be like people moving out of your house so you have more solitude, or like something restructuring, like you get your own space of the house or your own studio, or something about like a place that feels like a sanctuary is going to open up for you, or you discover like a new spot in nature that you didn't know existed, and now you can go and have your own like safe haven amongst sort of the busyness of life. But I do feel like a real change of pace happening. There might be opportunities for a holiday or for travel that you didn't also previously realize was available to you. It's going to happen really effortlessly, and I feel you being really, really grateful for this shift, and it really coming in at a time where you're like, wow, I really needed this. Like I really needed this. Oh my gosh, I just looked at the time and it's 3:33 p.m. Wow. So for some of you might have been a little bit in disbelief with this reading, thinking, how is this possible? I don't have the money to move, or, there's no way that I could have a sanctuary or the opportunity to travel or something. Well, think again, because I think this might surprise you, and it might kind of be feel like a little bit of a miracle when it happens, because I feel like it might be something that your heart has desired for a long time. And in a way, like a part of you has just sort of given up on it. A part of you has kind of given up on it, but in a way, like that kind of has allowed it to come through, because there's not this huge expectation or holding on to a certain manifestation. I feel you being very fluid and open, and this is why the universe and like spirit can really come in and bless you. So I'm seeing abundance as well helping you in this period of your life where like you're going to have money to, I don't know, book an Airbnb in nature and have a little retreat somewhere, or to book into a retreat maybe if you've wanted to. Or something about like solo traveling for some of you becoming available, and maybe you feel like it's finally time or you're aligned to do it. I'm seeing specifically spirit will support you at this next chapter of your life because there's certain things that are needing to heal, okay? And that's why I see the environment around you changing. Whether or not you are moving house or not, I see the environment still around you changing. Maybe you're choosing to spend more time in nature. Maybe the energy within your house is somehow being rearranged. Maybe you're going to move furniture around. Maybe you're going to, I don't know, put like a study into the spare room and have your own kind of retreat little nest there that you can like do your art or do some healing work, some meditation, some yoga. Just finding more space for your own needs as well, I feel, in this next chapter of your life. Like, it's going to happen really naturally, and I think that that's going to also add to this feeling of deep relaxation and restfulness and peacefulness, because you're not going to feel like, I feel you putting down a feeling of fighting. Like, I feel like you have been treading water and you've been juggling a lot of different opportunities. Responsibilities is the word that I was looking for. You've been juggling a lot of different responsibilities. And you might have kind of wanted to because they're all really important to you, or you value them, or they're good opportunities, or just for the sake of you have to, for survival kind of reasons, right? We have to keep showing up in certain ways to keep going and keep our life afloat. I'm just seeing life getting a lot easier and you having more free time for yourself, for your own healing. And again, your spirit guides, like the angels, spirit, the universe, really are going to come in to support you. And I feel you feeling really grateful in this next sort of phase of your life that you're moving into, because for you, it's not just what you don't see coming as a reading, kind of, it's more like this is a new chapter of your life that's actually opening for you. And specifically, this chapter is coming in to help you to heal something. Like, you need more time, like downtime, you need more rest time in order to heal maybe your physical health, or your nervous system has been in overdrive for too long, or you need time to heal and process something that you've been that's been coming up about your childhood or about, you know, past relationships, or you need to heal some heartbreak or something like this. Like, there's some kind of sanctuary that the universe will provide in whatever way that looks like for you, because it will look differently for everyone. You're going to be provided like a sanctuary, a space that makes you feel safe, that gives you more time for yourself. So maybe that means like more money, or I don't know, less responsibilities kind of like piling up. Like, I'm seeing a relief from burden, because I feel like you've been feeling this sense of burden, like the weight of the world on your shoulders kind of thing. And you've had to take a lot of responsibility and kind of be there for a lot of people, or show up for a job that's very demanding, or I don't know, just kind of like tread water to get through this part of your life, this part of like life on earth. So I really feel this like exhale, this like breathing out kind of energy where you're like letting go of a lot of stress and tension in your body. And it's providing you with a really nice space for healing, and kind of like just being able to slow down to spend time in nature, to like, you know, reflect on your dreams before you have to maybe rush off to work. It's like you're going to have time to journal, or to have a slow morning, or to meditate, or to kind of focus more on your health and wellness, your well-being, mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical well-being. I see all of these well-being, like the focus being on all of those at once. The universe like wants to help you. I keep hearing that, and I think that spirit really wants to get through to you. Like, your spirit guides want to like get through to you and say like, hey, we haven't abandoned you. There's like a recognition that something you've been going through has been really tough, and I feel like you might have felt like you've been going through it alone. Like, the whole, solitude. You've been feeling like you've been going through it alone, like the whole world is on your shoulders, or you're the one that has to provide for your family, or I don't know, there's something where it's like been on you. And I think that's maybe brought up some like deeply held fears, even like ancestral. I'm seeing ancestral fears like imprinted in from the ancestry into like your DNA around survival, around maybe poverty, money, even like scarcity to do with, you know, because a lot of our ancestors would have gone through periods of scarcity where like there wasn't enough food available or there wasn't enough money. And I'm seeing something like that has been like working itself through you at like a really deep like DNA level. And you've been healing from some kind of ancestral imprint around scarcity, around being like abandoned by others and having to kind of fend for yourself and like fight for your life in some way. So it's been really a tough period. I'm seeing that. And I'm seeing like the relief that this chapter is happening for you. It's almost like you've given up on it because you really needed it to come yesterday. You're like, yeah, I really needed this already, like for the past, this whole year or whatever it's been for you. It's like, it's kind of been a long-standing need that in a way you've kind of let go of the, I don't know, something about the timing. Maybe you had to let go of the timing. Yeah, something like that. Like you had to let go of the timing because it was too draining, like having your hopes up. You were like, I just got to let go of this and just like let things unfold as they will. So I'm seeing like what you don't see coming. The reason you're not seeing it coming is because you've kind of already been wanting this to come for a long time. But now I see it actually ready to come in. And I see it being better than you thought. Like for some of you, especially, I'm seeing you being able to move house, like change locations. And it might be quite a big change, like moving from a very populated area or an apartment building and moving into a place that's very quiet and like a sanctuary in nature or something like this. That's the kind of symbology I'm getting from your reading, is like kind of that transition and how big of a lifestyle shift that is, and how your whole life starts like slowing down and you start turning inwards. You start healing things that you didn't know were there because you didn't have the time to really like let them be and let them be heard and seen. So you're going to be going through a period of rapid healing in this new chapter, this new phase that you're moving into. And I just really see you didn't see it coming because you're moving out of survival mode, and you've been in survival mode for a long time and the burden has been heavy, right? The burden has been heavy, but I'm seeing it being lifted. And I think this solitude, this opportunity for solitude is going to surprise you. Like for some of you, it could be a travel. I think for all of you, there will be some kind of a change though in your environment, whether you're traveling, whether you're moving locations, or whether like something in your house suddenly gets rearranged and it opens up more space for you, or it brings in a fresh energy. There might be even work happening in the gardens or in the landscaping, but I'm just seeing you like embodying yourself differently in your home. It's like the way that you move around your home is going to change. And I'm seeing you moving from some area, some way of being that's been very cramped. Like there's something where you've been kind of cramped. Like maybe you've been having it in a share house or a share situation, or you've been living with a big family, or you've been living in a city or an apartment building where it's like, kind of shared facilities in some way. Or you've been traveling a lot and then you move back home and it's like more quiet. I don't know. There's some kind of a transition that's really going to serve you, and it's going to help your nervous system, like primarily. Your nervous system is going to have the opportunity to kind of like breathe out and chill and be a lot more rested and also like nourished. Like I'm seeing you really nourishing yourself, and I see as well this like really impacting your health. Like you're going to be looking a lot fresher, a lot more alive, like a lot healthier. People are going to be like, wow, you look great, like what have you been doing? And you're going to be like, I've been doing less and I've been looking better. That kind of thing. People are going to really notice like your wellness, your health, like, wow, you're looking really good, like what is your secret here? And I see a lot of processing. Like you are moving into a period where you're going to be processing a lot of things from your past, like deep, like really deep stuff from your past, like things that you have been buried for a long time, like even ancestral imprints, like that was already brought up. You've already been working with that and healing ancestral imprints in your like DNA, in your body, in your cells. But this is only going to deepen, like this process that you're in, this work that you're doing with healing, it's only going to deepen. And I see it really manifesting at every single layer of your being, your emotional, physical, spiritual, and mental. Like all of them will be having this glow up energy, will be having this improvement, will be having this healing, this health and vitality showing through your body, showing through your system. I see the focus really in this next phase being on your health, on your well-being, but also, like I said, you being supported to really have that be happening in an effortless way, where it's like you don't have to force yourself to journal every day, you don't have to force yourself to work out or to, I don't know, do your meditation or your breath work or your yoga or whatever it might look like for you. It's more like you actually have the space, and then the inspiration comes through you where you're like, yes, I really want to do this morning routine, or I really want to go and exercise and move my body. And that's going to feel like such a shift for you, because I think like I said, you've been under a lot of burden, a lot of stress, a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. And it's kind of like self-care has been, I think you've still been doing things, but you haven't had the energy left over that you would have liked, ideally, right? Ideally, you would have liked to have a bit more energy to like give to yourself, and it just hasn't been there. You've been looking for it. You've been kind of like digging deep and being like, can I do this? No, I need to rest, or I need to get this thing done, or I need to finish my work, or whatever it might be. And I think this shift is coming in, like, it is coming in perfect timing, I'm hearing now, even though I feel like you might be like, it's a bit late, actually. Where has it been? But I do see once it comes in, there's a real deep gratitude and almost a sense of disbelief from you. Like, I feel like you might feel a bit like it's a miracle. You're like, how on earth am I now living in, my dream home in nature in the middle of the wilderness or something? And you'll be like, I never thought that I could manifest this, or I didn't think it would be available to me. I'd already given up on it. There's something about this that's really going to help you. Or maybe it's about healing, like healing something deeply that brings a sense of a miracle in your life. Because when we heal things, like the deepest layers of things that are holding us back, we can actually manifest like really amazing miracles, like really incredible things. Because what is usually blocking us is these deeply held, pains, wounds, beliefs that are either ours or our ancestries or from past lives that we really need to dig deep and like clear out so that we can live the life that we've come here to live. And that's what you are doing. So I keep seeing this change of scenery. Spirit really wants to stress it. So for some of you, it could be more about traveling, like having the opportunity to, I don't know, go on a trip. It might be a solo trip because we've got Solitude, or it might be like getting away from a lot of people and having time in a different kind of environment. Because the other thing I'm getting is like you might be feeling a bit more sensitive in this time that you're moving into, because deeper things are starting to surface and like come up to be processed and released. And you're kind of going to feel a little bit vulnerable, and that's why the universe is kind of going to surround you in this like warm hug and make you feel really held and really seen and really loved and supported. Like I feel like, you're going to learn. I feel like one of the big patterns you're rewriting is around support. Like, how do you feel supported in life? Do you feel like everything's on your shoulders, or do you feel supported and kind of like receiving help? Because I feel like, you've been, it's kind of the energy of like a single parent, right? Where it's like, it can feel like everything's kind of on your shoulders. That's the kind of archetype I'm feeling. Kind of apply that to whatever it looks like in your life. But there's something about where things have been on your shoulders, and that's been putting you necessarily into this role of giving, or like you're the provider in your relationship, or something like this, where it's like there's a lot on your shoulders, and it's kind of like something that is kind of a physical reality that's hard to escape from. Therefore, it's hard to kind of rewrite that pattern. But I'm kind of seeing that you're going to be defying the odds, and you're going to be like learning how to receive in this next phase, like in a totally different way than what has felt available to you before. And that's going to bring you so much more abundance. Like I feel like you've been making ends meet, or kind of like scraping by, or for some of you, maybe it's been better like financially, but a lot of you, I see some kind of theme of scarcity, where it's like there hasn't been quite enough. And scarcity doesn't always have to manifest as money. It can also manifest as like there's not been enough time for yourself, or there's not been enough, space for you to have solitude, or to go inwards, or to heal certain things that want to be healed now. So you're really like going to feel blessed. You're going to feel blessed at these opportunities for travel, or for relocation, or just for sort of rearranging. Like something in your life will rearrange. It will, because there's a new energy that is like, it's sort of representing this new energy that's coming into your life. And a deep period of healing will follow. You're going to feel like really blessed though, and really held during this period. Like maybe you're going to feel really abundant as you're healing really deeply. Or you're going to feel like, you really have the spare time. You really have the spare time to give to yourself. Maybe the energy as well. Like you could be healing from physical pain, from maybe like chronic pain in some way, or chronic fatigue, something that's been chronic, like a chronic long-standing health thing that's really been like draining your life force and your inspiration. I see healing. I see you healing this, and almost like your inner world rearranging around this healing. Like, and you might be also like kind of coming into new desires, new inspiration, like that you didn't realize that you already had inside of you. There's almost like a real surprise energy coming from deep within you, because the Hermit's about our inner world, and kind of like turning inwards. And, we can only do that when we are in solitude. We only do that ourselves. Like, no one else can kind of come into our inner world. It's our own. And it's a very, very sacred space. So I feel like you're going to almost be discovering new things within yourself that you didn't actually know were there. New desires, new creative ideas, new paths for your life. And I see like the result from this deep healing that you're going through is that you're going to realize that so much more is actually available to you than you've ever realized before. You're going to realize like, whoa, the whole world is actually available to me once you have done some of this clearing work and healed and come into like the real true power that lies within you. In this space of silence, in this space of solitude, in this space of introspection, you're going to realize like anything is actually possible for me. And certain dreams are going to articulate themselves with crystal clarity. And you're going to realize like, oh, this is the direction for my life. This is my mission. This is my offering. This is what I'm here to do. This is how I'm meant to do it. This is what I got to do. And so I see that from this healing phase, like a lot of things will be born. Like a lot of new things in your life will be born, and things again that you really did not think were possible, that you did not see was actually available to you at all, ever, that you had kind of written off and been like, yeah, this is not going to happen for me this life, and I think this is going to be one of the deepest healings, is actually you realizing how much is available to you and how much you are capable of and how strong you are and how powerful you are and how connected into the divine that you actually are, that you can create miracles in your own life and in the lives of those around you. Like, you can literally transform your reality. So this healing is like a huge, really important part of actually your soul's mission, your soul's intention for this lifetime. It's not something that can be avoided or like skipped over. It kind of has to be done. And whilst you've been desiring this for a long time, I don't think you even realize how good it's going to be when you get this change of pace, when you get this opportunity to heal, because it's going to bring you more than you even realized. Like, you really didn't realize how much it's going to bring you and how good that's going to feel when it comes in. Like, how many creative ideas you have, or how many opportunities you then see in front of you where you're like, oh my gosh, I could do this, and this, and this. Kind of like the world's your oyster kind of energy. Whereas before, I feel like you were living in this survival mode that was very ancestrally kind of imprinted in you. And a lot of that ancestral imprint had to clear so that you could even recognize the true self that you are within you, like the true incredible soul that you actually are, and how capable you are of anything you set your mind to, of anything that you desire. You can kind of create it. And I feel like this is really this period, like Spirit's arranging it for you so that you can really come back into your power. Like, somewhere along the way, like your soul, you forgot a bit of your soul's power, and you're reclaiming that in like a really special way. Okay, so let's pull you a couple of cards. Spirit, what does group 1 not see coming? No way. Fertility. That's right. Like, that's the energy I was saying with how much is available, like actually how fertile your life is, like how much can actually manifest for you from this period of healing, from this period of clearing. And I think it's actually going to happen quicker than you realize. Like, you're going to have this shift in your consciousness. Like, it's a consciousness revolution where you're like, wait, this is available to me? And it's kind of going to blow your mind, and you're kind of going to be like in awe of yourself and of the universe and of the way that things manifest. And you really didn't see it coming. You really didn't see how much is actually available to you. And it does take the healing work to literally shift, like it's shifting you at the deepest level, like at the level of your DNA. Because I saw your DNA like earlier in the reading. It's like it's shifting you at the deepest possible level, where it's like your gene expression is changing, kind of like epigenetics. It's such a deep healing that you're moving through, group 1, and it's already happening. Like, it has already happened, but it's just that you've been under like a really deep burden from your karmic kind of lineage, from your ancestral imprints. there's been a deep burden, and the energy of the burden is lifting, and the healing is starting to kind of accelerate. And from that healing, you're realizing like, whoa, there is so much available to me. I am so abundant. I am so creative. I have so many ideas. I'm so many opportunities, so many different ways that your life can manifest. Like, for example, as well, I'm seeing the fertility of new life. Like, you're going to really feel like you're going through a rebirth, but I'm seeing as well relationships. Like, a lot of you might have thought, oh, I'm not going to have a relationship in this life, or I'm not going to have the opportunity to have friends or a community or soul family. Like, I feel like there's something about you've lived in solitude for a long time and you've gotten really used to that, and you've let it work for yourself, and it's been a good thing. It's been a blessing in a lot of ways, like having your own energies, your solitude. But one thing you don't see coming is actually the abundance of like other souls on this earth who resonate with you and who have been through similar things and who speak the same language as you. With the Empress card, this is actually what you don't see coming is, like, again, I want to preface this by saying there is healing that has to take place before this will become super crystal clear and super available to you, but that healing does feel like it's happening. But from that healing, it's like this Empress card is saying almost every area of your life, there's going to feel like something available to you that was not available before. Something in the way that you express in your role of like giving to the world, your career, your sense of being of service, like something like with that is going to like blow your mind as well. And you're going to be like, wow, I didn't realize that like I was being prepared in secret for this role that I'm actually meant to live. Like, that's what I'm kind of getting. It's like almost like it's been hidden from you by your guides until it was the perfect time for you to receive it. And then when you receive it, there's so much joy. There's so much like gratitude in your heart of being like, what, this is for me. This is the life that I've been preparing for. I had no idea that this is the life that Spirit has been preparing for me. Yeah, it's going to be very, very, very happy time. Like, so much abundance being revealed to you, kind of. And like I said, in every area of your life, like in your spirituality, like a deeper level of consciousness, like certain psychic abilities as well that you didn't realize were going to be available to you, a certain role spiritually, creatively, with your career that you've actually been secretly been prepared for, all of these soulmate relationships that have been secretly existing on the earth that you had no idea they existed, and you thought maybe you were the only one that was like this or that felt this way or that had walked this path, and then you meet your people and you're like, what? I didn't know that things could be this good, that connections could be so fresh, that it could be so aligned, so easy, so effortless. Because yeah, there is something here about relationships, like you've been through it in a relationship way. Yeah, which is why this solitude energy I see around you, like the burden of like kind of carrying things for yourself and maybe for others as well. And there's something about the support just hasn't quite been there. And relationally, like people haven't quite been speaking that same language as you. And there's been things that have been like lost in, what do they say? Like lost in transit, lost in communication, like translation, lost in translation. It's kind of like you've been speaking different languages almost. And that's created a sense of like isolation or like almost like a cultural difference or something, which might be like literally for some of you if you live in a different country than what your natural like birth language is. But I feel it more like symbolically, like you're almost from a different planet and then you haven't found like your people, those people that resonate at that same frequency as you, where it's like kind of this instant connection and effortless kind of communication. So I see, yeah, especially relationships transforming, especially if you do kind of like, don't be afraid, I want to say now as well, of solitude. I know most of you watching this reading are like really used to it, actually. You really know about solitude. You really know about, you know, relationships ending and kind of walking away from things, you know, that haven't worked. Like, I feel like you kind of already kind of experts and masters at it. But for some of you, this sense of solitude might be a little bit newer, or it might be coming to you in a new way. And Spirit's saying, like, don't be afraid of it because it's not the end state. Like, you're not meant to be alone for the rest of your life or anything like that. Like, you are meant to heal and come back into connection. Like, that is what is meant to happen. That is part of your destiny path. That is part of what has been written. And see how in this card, like, she's holding the book. And I always think that book represents the Akashic records, where things have been written from our past, like which I kept saying, the ancestors, your karmic history as well from your own lifetimes. but also what has been written in our destiny and what we are being prepared for in our life. Sometimes we forget about that. Like, what are we being prepared for? What role are we secretly actually going through these things so that we are the perfect match for this role, for this certain mission that we have taken on? So yeah, your life is going to be changing a lot. Like, the more that you heal, the more your life will change. And I think you already knew that, but I think that there's been so many blocks, so many burdens that you might have thought like, oh, healing's never going to happen for me, or this is just not going to happen for me. I just see disbelief, continuous disbelief, because you've gotten so used to things being so hard for so long. And the fact that they're changing for you and will continue to change and change beyond your wildest dreams, beyond what you thought. Like, think of the best dream that you can think of your life. And then imagine if it could even be better than that, because that's what it's going to be. It's like you right now, what you could think of as the best dream for your life. Like, if you just sat down and you're like, okay, like no restrictions, no limitations. What is it that you want from life? What is it that you want to give back to the world? What is it that what contribution do you want to leave of your life, of your imprint? Like, you are this one precious emanation of your soul, and you're so precious. I feel like a lot of emotion coming through from spirit about that. You are this precious emanation of your soul in this lifetime, and you never get to be that again. You are the most precious thing in the world to spirit. Like, and your own soul sees you as such a precious evolution of all the other like precious versions of yourself that you've ever been. So it's like, in this life, this one precious version of you, who are you? What do you want to do? Who do you want to be? What do you want to give? What imprint do you want to leave on the world? Whether it's, kind of known to the masses, or whether it's just done in silence and in solitude, you still make an imprint. You still make an impact. And so I just see, like, even the biggest dream that you could dream for your life right now, it's still not big enough. It's still not big enough. And so the more that you heal and you get rid of like kind of these layers, the more that you're going to realize, like, what on earth have I been missing? And you're going to realize, like, no wonder you felt this sense of living under this burden or living under these restrictions, because you literally were, and you were literally kind of like cut off from the truth of your soul and how powerful you are and how expanded your life actually is meant to be. Okay, so let's get you one more card, Spirit. Spirit? I called you Spirit. Well, you are Spirit. We are all Spirit. Let's get you one more card, Proof 1. What does Spirit want you to know about what you don't see coming? Last card, Spirit. Oh, yeah. Spiritual strength, the 9 of Wands. So this card talks about things taking a long time. Like, it really talks about having to be very, very, very strong for a very, very, very long time. And kind of even when you feel like I have nothing left to give, somehow you still keep going. Even when you might even be like praying to spirit or crying out to the universe and being like, I need things to change. I can't keep doing this. Somehow you still keep going. So there's a deep, deep resilience and strength that you have from being a really ancient and wise soul on this earth. And it's things, that I feel like you haven't given up in times when so many people would have. And that is going to feel very emotional for you once you actually get kind of finally some indication of the payoff of what you've been working towards, because you have put in 110% of yourself into your life and into your mission and into your path. And Spirit really doesn't want you to underestimate what you have just walked through, because it's kind of like a perspective shift Spirit's showing me where, before the manifestation, it's like there's so much work that has to go into it. There's so many sacrifices. There's so many things that break us, that break our heart, where we have to walk away, or we have to, face like a tower moment, or face something, some deep fear or some deep pain. Like, it's hard, this is duality. This is earth. Like, it's really not for the faint of heart, especially when you're a spiritually evolved soul and you're having in life like this. But even if you're not a spiritually evolved soul, there's sort of like, there's like a deep respect from the divine for even choosing to experience earth at all. Okay, because it's full on. So it's sort of like when things manifest, we kind of like praise the manifestation, right? The Empress, like we praise the fertility, the rebirth, like the, oh my God, the glow up, the things getting better in life. And it's like, we really need to also just equally praise like all of the work that it took to get there. And I feel this is going to be like a really emotional time for you in this transition, because look, it's a very clear transition. It's like you've been in the 9 of Wands energy, which is what I was telling you about the burden, like things feeling like a huge responsibility. That is 100% 9 of Wands. It's like the 9 of Wands is kind of like when you're on a journey and you do that part of like maybe like a really long walk or like a through hike where it's like you hike for like many days or many weeks. And it's like it gets to the point where like your feet are all blistered and like cut up and they hurt and your body's aching and you're tired and maybe you're a bit dehydrated and a bit hungry and, you know, you're running out of food and you're kind of like, oh my God, this is so hard. But you keep going and there's another mountain to climb and then there's another one and another one. And somehow you just make it through, even though it's not comfortable, it's not easy, it hurts. It's taking every kind of like ounce of resilience within you to keep going, but you keep putting that foot in front of the other and you keep going, you keep traversing your path. And then you have this like respite, you have this sort of a sense of relief. You have a rest after a long period of like exertion and hiking and digging deep and you know, you kind of need to refeed and rehydrate and rest and, you know, let your wounds heal kind of thing. And that's exactly the energy that I'm getting. Like where you're moving out of is the spiritual strength, the 9 of Wands, that sense of like the hardest part of your journey where it's like, oh, it's so hard. I can't keep doing this. I can't keep going. Oh my God, how am I still going? And then you reach this kind of like rest stop where it's like, I get a bit of respite. I get a bit of solitude. I get a bit of relief from the journey and I get to heal those wounds that have come up for healing. And then you enter into the rebirth where it's like, oh, it's time for a new adventure. It's time for me to reimagine my life. And you're going to reimagine it in a way that you never thought was possible, that you're like, what? I didn't realize all of this was waiting for me. I didn't realize the role. I keep hearing specifically, I didn't realize the role that spirit was preparing me for. I didn't realize the role that spirit was preparing me for. And without that 9 of Wands, without that spiritual strength, you would not be eligible for the role that you are moving into. So there's going to be like a deep respect from your own soul, like from your own self, like never mind external validation. It's going to be internal validation where you have this deep respect for the path that you have walked in life, for what you've been through, and for how much it took from you to get to where you are right now. And how worth it is, and how it shaped you, and how it made you different at a soul level. Never mind just who you are as a human in this life, but it made you different. It changed you, it shaped you, it moved you at a soul level. So I'm seeing like weeping, I'm seeing crying, because there's like this deep respect that you have for yourself, for your strength, for what you've moved through in life, for how much you've healed, for how much you've overcome, for your resilience. And it's like there's almost like a focus you're going to have on your past that's going to like be so different, where you're not identified with it anymore. You're not so identified with that 9 of Wands energy where it's like, it's really hard, it's really tough, it doesn't get easier, it just gets harder. You're not going to be identified with that story, with that narrative anymore. So you're going to see it in a different way, and you're going to see yourself for like who you've actually always been and how incredible you are. And you're going to be like, wow, like I am phenomenal. So I see like a lot of internal alchemy, group 1, a lot of internal validation happening where you're cutting ties with needing external validation, needing to be seen by others, understood. And it's all going to be birthed from within you then. Like it's like you're clearing these cords where you might have been attached to like, I need people to understand how hard things are, or, you know, the attachment to like your past story, the narrative from your life, or the traumas you've been through. It's like you're cutting ties with that because you're healing it and because you're seeing it in a different way. It's like your consciousness is shifting. It's going to be kind of trippy because your consciousness, it's like your eyes are the same, but you're seeing things that have always been there, but you're seeing them in a different way. It's like the same scene, but you're seeing a totally different scene somehow because your eyes are shifting, because your internal world is shifted. So you see your life, you see yourself in a totally different way, in a totally different light. And it's a very healing experience. And I'm seeing like tears of joy and gratitude. Wow. So you didn't see that coming, hey? Wow, what an amazing reading, group 1. Like, wow. I'm kind of blown away myself. It was beautiful to channel for you. And yeah, I'm just sending you so much love on your path. I would also say that if you would like to check out more of my work, please see the links in the description box below. I just channeled recently a Rebirth light language healing, which I really feel like actually would help you as you're moving out of this Nine of Wands sort of patterning in your life where things have been really tough, and you're moving into this hermit energy where you're going to be doing deep healing before this fertility, this rebirth, the Empress. That one comes to mind as being really maybe a really helpful one for you as well, for some reason, as the throat chakra healing as well. Okay, group number 1, that is your reading. I'm sending you so much love in your path, and take really good care. Hello, group 2. So you chose card number 17, Hope, which is the star card in traditional tarot in the major arcana. And I heard star power. So you have some kind of star power, some kind of star quality. Like, part of your destiny is to be a star on this earth, to shine bright, to sparkle, to kind of like twinkle. And I see in this card, like, they're kind of holding up the light. They're holding out the light. It's kind of like a source of light. Like, I see you're here to be a source of light in this world. And that's part of like your role. And I feel like you're being pushed into some kind of like spotlight in a way that you don't see coming. Or you might have kind of seen it coming. You might have been like kind of working in that field, but it's like a breakthrough that you didn't see coming. You didn't see it suddenly, like you taking off in a certain way, or getting a promotion, or having more eyes on you, or I don't know, just having, also I'm seeing you don't see coming, like you yourself having more light available to you. So it's like your channeling power getting stronger, because I feel all of you channeled the divine in some way. It's through whatever way that looks like for you. Like, even just you speaking, you channel some kind of energy through you. You have some kind of light that you hold that brings hope to others. Like, you are meant to be someone that brings like hope to the masses. Like, you bring the star energy to the masses. And I really mean that when I say the masses. Like, I think you're meant to be public and seen, just like light. Light is meant to be shared. Like, we don't think of like having like a bright light and then like hiding it away and like being like, oh, hide that bright light away and put it away in that room and make sure no one sees it. It's like, no, we have lights, so they illuminate energy for us, so that we bring, they bring light to us. Like, there's something about this where it's like, you're not meant to be hidden away. You're meant to be public in some way. And you're meant to be there for the masses. Like, maybe for some of you as well, you're meant to move on from, I'm seeing career for a lot of you, okay? So I'm seeing like you're meant to move on from some kind of a role where maybe you've done a lot of one-on-one, and you're meant to expand this into having an audience, like reaching more than one person at once, because that's sort of how your energy, like spirit wants to like utilize your light and give your light to more, because it's going to help people in such a big way. And this could be, it could be that you are like, even if your job is very traditionally one-on-one, like for example, maybe you're a psychotherapist or something, and so obviously therapy happens more one-on-one, but maybe you expand to have groups and you do group therapy, or maybe you expand by writing a book about your experience, about your niche, and then that reaches a lot more people. But for a lot of you, you might already be in some kind of like performing arts role, because I see you very creative, like a lot of creative energy, or you're a writer or you're a singer or something, where it already kind of, oh, I hit the microphone, sorry. It already kind of makes sense for you to put yourself out there in a bigger way and have like a bigger audience. But I'm seeing Spirit saying like, you're meant to either transition away from one-on-one, because Spirit wants your energy to be seen by more people, or you're meant to add on some kind of way where you're reaching more people than just one at a time, because that's just the nature of your energy. Like, your energy is just so good for this earth. Like, it's like nourishment. It's like sunshine. We need it. We need the sun, right? We need the sun. We need it. And imagine a night sky without any stars in it. Like, it just wouldn't make sense. There's something about you. It's like you're just meant to be seen and received and also celebrated and kind of adored. And I think that like the only thing that's really been holding you back has been something you've needed to heal inside of yourself around really receiving this level of like adoration. Because I'm seeing something like where, I don't know, there's some kind of imprint in your energy field where like maybe you were, I don't know, mistreated or neglected or abandoned in some way in your life. And it kind of makes this thing hard to receive. Like, it makes your role harder to receive. Like, there's been some kind of block energetically around receiving like this level of attention or adoration, because I really see your energy as kind of meant to be adored in some way. And it's because you bring people hope, you bring people starlight, you bring them starlight. And it's like, that is such a beautiful gift. And it's like you bring so much to others and you're learning how to receive kind of equally, because you kind of have this power. Like I'm seeing someone like performing, like maybe singing on stage, and just as much as they are giving out, like they are also meant to be receiving the energy from the audience, like in this kind of like symbiotic kind of like relationship between like performer and audience. There's something like really beautiful about that. Like you could write a whole PhD about this or something. There's something about like your role is to like get that right, like to get that right, that energy exchange that happens between a performer and an audience, and like how sacred that exchange is, and how it shifts and it changes both parties. Like the audience members are like, I'm so inspired, oh my gosh, this person, they're so in their power, or they're so in their light, you know, they're giving such a beautiful performance. But then that performer, that singer, whatever, is also receiving energy back, and it's fueling them and it's making them feel fulfilled by their role and what they're doing in their life. So it's like something about that exchange has been the thing that's blocked you in your biggest level of success, like that wants to come in for you. So I see like something about this has been, actually, if you look back on like the last few months of your life, maybe the last 6 months of your life, you'll actually realize like, oh my gosh, I've actually been working on this. I didn't realize, maybe you didn't look at it in that way, but you've actually been working on something to do with receiving, or you've been clearing up some kind of a wound around abandonment, neglect, rejection, something like that, that was like placed there from like a very early childhood experience. Like I'm kind of getting, and you know, this is very specific, but I'm kind of getting the energy of like maybe someone whose like father left them at a young age, and they were raised by like a single mother or something, and they kind of lived without a father, and it kind of left this like emptiness or something in them of like, oh, I didn't ever have a father, like who, you know, you felt that kind of sense of being rejected or something. And then that is something that might replay in relationships as you grow older with men, or in ways of romantic relationships. So it's like, if you look back on the last 6 months, it's like there's some kind of a wound like that was set up in your early childhood around not feeling like you were chosen, or not feeling like you were appreciated, or like that your light wasn't received by others in the way that you wanted it to be. Like you felt like you weren't enough. That's kind of the energy, because children internalize things as well. Like even though a lot of the time it's not actually nothing to do with that child, right? It's like there's all these other complicated things that happen within relationship dynamics or within someone's personal life that might make them, you know, I'm not trying to justify it, but I'm just saying there's a lot more going on, you know, that makes, you know, maybe someone split up or a divorce or whatever, that makes a child feel like abandoned. But children feel like everything's their fault. Like that's just how their brain works. They're like, oh, it's my fault. It's my fault this thing happened. It's my fault. If I was more lovable or more this, then that wouldn't have happened. And so it's like they kind of get this narrative going that's incorrect. And that's what I'm seeing has been like unraveling for you. And like I said, I feel like you've been working on this for the last 6 months, even if you didn't realize that it was happening at the time. It's been happening especially through relationships of all kinds, but especially maybe romantic relationships, or maybe relationships with some kind of authority figure, something like that, like some kind of relationship dance that's been happening that's actually been helping you to heal. Even if it's been really triggering you, even if it's been really painful to go through it, it's actually been helping you to heal. And what it's doing is that it's actually making space, it's making way, it's been making space for this new level of success to come in. For a lot of you guys, you might have always wanted this level of success and kind of realized that it was your destiny from a young age and kind of dreamed of it, and maybe even been close to it a lot of times, or been like right on the cusp of it. But for others of you, this might be more of a surprise in that you realize like, oh, this is my role. This is what I'm here to do. Like this is part of my life purpose. This is part of my mission. And you're kind of going to be like thrust into the spotlight. It might kind of feel like, I think for all of you, there's something that has to heal, right? That has been blocking this from just instantly manifesting for you. But whether you've known it or not, conscious, subconscious, you've been healing it. You've been working on it, and in a really big way in the past 6 months. And you're about to see some kind of payoff from that. You're about to actually heal something to do with your creative self-expression, putting yourself out there, being seen by others, being okay with putting yourself out there, because I'm seeing like some kind of fear, maybe deeply held fear of like rejection or criticism, or like I said, abandonment of some kind. And you've been healing that like really deeply so that you can embody more your role. Okay, so let's see. Spirit, what do you want group 2 to know? about surprises they don't see coming. What don't they see coming? What do you want them to know? Recognition and reward. Wow, that's right. Recognition and reward. Okay, so this in the traditional tarot is the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles, recognition and reward. So it's something you actually have been working on for a long time. But for some of you might not have realized, like, actually you're meant to be like put up there into the spotlight. Like, for example, a therapist, right? You might not have realized, like, oh, you had a book in you this whole time that you're meant to write, and then it's meant to reach like millions of people, something like this. There's something really big about your energy. It's meant to be like large scale, like a big scale. And look at this. Back of the deck is new beginnings. Are you kidding me? We've got the Tower as well. Disruption. So we've got the Fool and we've got the Tower. We've got 3 major arcana. Amazing. Like, wow. So you've been working at this, whether you realize it or not. Some of you know, and you're like, yeah, I've been working for this. I want this. Some of you might not even realize that this is what you were working towards, but it was always part of your destiny. So recognition and reward is like, you're finally going to get recognized, and you're going to get the rewards for that recognition that you've deeply desired, like deep inside of yourself for a long time. But again, the thing that's been blocking it has been some kind of wound around like not feeling good enough, not feeling lovable, not knowing how to receive this level of admiration and like love from the world around you. Like, how do you receive? Because especially when you are a creative or a healer, like, because I keep seeing, like, for example, the archetype of like a performer or maybe even a therapist, like I said, it's like you're kind of in a role of giving a lot. Like, you kind of give, right? You give your art, you give yourself, you give everything to your performance. There's something about that where it's like you've had to learn as well how to receive. Like, how can you also balance those energies out and receive? Because you're in a relationship with your audience as well. And that's why I was saying that that comment of like, you could write a PhD about the relationship between audience and performer, because there's something like really deep that you're tapping into about this, where it's like you're going to know it at a really deep level of yourself. Like, what is that relationship all about? How does it serve both parties? Why is it so sacred and important that the energies are balanced? And it's also like, I see you really preventing burnout. Okay, I see you getting some kind of balance, right, so that you prevent burnout. And part of that as well is because you're learning about yourself. Like, you're learning, like, what do you need? Who are you? What kind of energies do you need in return to feel fulfilled? And I think a lot of it is about like removing the blocks to being able to receive more. And when you can receive more money, when you can receive more basically like gratitude from others for the work that you do, that also goes a long way to preventing burnout, right? And I feel like part of you has been giving and giving and giving, and you might have like reached a point of burnout in the past. Like, it might have been in your history somewhere, like this pattern of burning out where you're like, oh, I can't do it anymore. Like, I've lost the love for this job or for this role. So I see with this new beginning, it's like that feeling of burnout definitely going away. But more than that, it's like you're becoming conscious and aware of like, where does burnout come from for you? Like, where is it really coming from? What pattern within you might be progressing it? And I'm going to give you a hint that it's about receptivity for you. It's about like a deeply held thing that you're healing around. You are enough, and you are lovable, and you are worthy of receiving a lot from the world. Like, you have a big energy group too. Like, you're not meant to be little. You're not meant to just receive a little bit and have a modest life. Like, you're not meant to be modest. I mean modest in, like, you know how they say a modest existence, like a little like 2-bedroom house. And you're meant to be big. Like, you're big, and you're bold, and you're beautiful, and that's gorgeous, and that makes you who you are, and that makes you the creative energy that everyone loves. There's something about you that's just kind of big. It's larger than life, and it's like, it doesn't want to be kept small anymore. It doesn't want to be kept small out of fear. There's some kind of energy where it's like you might have been hiding out of a fear of rejection, a fear of criticism, a fear of not being loved and of not being adored, when it's like, actually, you need to heal so that you can receive the level of adoration and admiration that you are going to receive from your role in this world. Like, you are meant to be on a stage, on a platform, in the light, sharing, giving, being seen, being heard, being taken notice of, being given to as well. I want to say, like, you are meant to be given to. And I think that's something that is new for you. Like, you're like, wait, I'm meant to be I'm meant to be receiving, because you've been really used to giving. And it could even be like, for some of you as well, or for most of you, I think will resonate. There's something here around giving has been a bit of a lifeline for you. Like, I feel like you might have gotten into a like habitual kind of energy of like, I need to give to be loved. And it might feel really scary for you to kind of like actually come back into balance of giving and receiving, because it might trigger this wound and you're like, oh, but I won't be loved unless I'm like giving everything I have, like all the time, just giving to everyone around me, or giving to my work or my role or whatever. Then I won't be loved. I won't be safe. I won't be okay. Everyone's going to abandon me. Everyone's going to leave me. It's like a really deep, like inner child fear. And I see like you've been working on it, like I said, whether you realize it or not, and you have been coming more into balance. And this role is only going to show you even more like how much you are safe to receive, how much it is safe for you to receive. And you might be feeling like, I'm just here receiving all the time, because you're so used to giving that the act of receiving is going to feel kind of new to you. It's going to almost feel foreign to you. But it's also like, you have to be able to receive for you to embody your divine role on this earth. You have to be able to receive for you to embody your divine role on this earth. You can't just give. You have to be able to receive as well. And that's a huge part of your mission, is like healing the trauma that made you feel like you couldn't receive, or that it wasn't safe, or that you had to be in the role of giving in order to feel safe, in order to feel regulated, in order to feel like people wouldn't abandon you or whatever, in order to feel like you were worthy of, you know, getting paid or something like this. There's like something really deep in your psychology, and it's like it's unraveling itself now. And it's going to feel so good. It's going to feel like a celebration. It's going to feel like a new beginning. And this new beginning is going to happen really fast with the disruption, because, you know, with that Three of Pentacles, the recognition and reward card, like that also talks about you've been working on something for a long time already. Three of Pentacles is like you've already been working at it. You've already been working on it, and you've already been working at it. Like I said, some of you, it might actually be a surprise that you're meant to be in the spotlight in such a big way. But trust me, you're going to love it, okay? It's like things aren't put into our destiny path unless they are in alignment for us, right? And like if it's designed, it's like this role is designed for you. It's designed specifically for you, for your soul. So yes, you are going to absolutely love it, and you're going to get a new level of recognition and reward that you have never had in your life before. But a lot of you have been consciously working on this. You might have been having a career as a performer, or I don't know, putting yourself out there in a certain way. And so it's like a lot of things have already been kind of prepared so that when this new beginning happens, it happens fast. Like the disruption card is the Tower, and the Tower happens instantaneously. Like it's like boom, from day to night, like from night to day, something shifts all of a sudden very quickly. And it's kind of giving me like, you know, when someone goes viral on social media, it's like that can change someone's life overnight. Like they can be like, what? I didn't see this coming. I didn't realize this. So for a lot of you, it could be about going viral, or it could be about like I keep getting the image of like maybe someone writing a book and publishing it and it going viral, like that book sales going viral, or your music going viral in some way. You're going to be recognized in a way that you haven't before. And this recognition, like this lack of recognition or reward, because see how in that Three of Pentacles, like this guy is kind of got his head down, like he's kind of got his head down, even though he's wearing like a medal, but it also looks like a silver medal. Interesting. It's like, I feel like, yeah, silver medal. Interesting. I'm getting the message of like, you might have felt like you were second best in a way. There's something about where you weren't center stage. You might have felt like, oh, I'm just the supporting actor. I'm not the lead actor. Like there's something here about like some kind of a pattern that has been playing out in your life where you weren't really getting the recognition and reward that actually you're actually meant to. It's not just coming from like, oh, maybe I'm just, you know, meant to be happy where I am. It's like, no, you desire something for a reason, because this is what you are meant to have. You're meant to achieve this. Let's get a clarifier, Spirit, for this side. Yeah, look at that. The Two and then the Three of Pentacles. We have movement, choices, decisions. So this card, the Two of Pentacles, like in this deck, movement, choices, decisions, it always makes me think about timelines. Like see how there's all these different like archways, and they all have a different life within them. And I think that part of you has been like weighing up, and you've been like, maybe I'm just meant to be happy with this timeline where I'm like I'm the support, like to the lead actor. And it's like, no, that comes from an old story. Like there's something about that. It's like that comes from an old story. This like being okay with being hidden, or being okay with being like second best or something. It's like that comes from this old story. And it's like you're allowed to have this hunger for success and this ambition for success, because it's actually a huge part of your destiny. So I see like this huge thing healing where it's like this pattern has been playing out where it's like you haven't been there, or maybe it's like played out in romantic relationships where it's like you haven't been chosen or something like that, or you've been kind of like, I don't know, there's something where it's like it's just kept on playing out and you've been like, what is this thing that keeps on following me everywhere? And it might have felt really hard to kind of like shed it from yourself. But whether you've been conscious or not, you have been healing this. You have been working on this. You have been healing it, particularly within relationship dynamics, because I see that the relationship dynamics somewhere along the line is where this pattern got imprinted into you. So we have the hope card at the center of your spread. So it's like Spirit saying, don't give up on yourself either. Don't give up on yourself or your destiny, because I think that the path that you have walked in this lifetime, many, many people might have given up. But there's so many people, there's so many like stories. It's kind of like an archetypal story. There's so many stories of people who have become really, really hugely like successful in their own right, in whatever the role is that they're doing, and that they've had to face a lot of rejection. They've had to face a lot of times where things didn't work out for them, or where they were, kind of like in a way almost humiliated by life and been like, am I really meant to be doing this path? Because I just, I keep getting rejected, or I keep getting told no, or I keep seeing this door slam in my face. But there's something about the perseverance that you've had where it's like you just had to keep going and to keep having faith and to keep having hope. And that hope within you is something that you end up giving to the world through your role, through like the way that you give. You give others hope, you give others inspiration, and you are going to be a really important person for a lot of people in this like world. And Spirit saying, don't give up on yourself, and don't give up on the people that you are here to lead and the people you are here to shine your light upon, because they need you as well. Like they actually need you for what you have to offer. That sounds really intense, but it's like what I'm seeing is like you are here to activate certain people in a certain way. Your art might not be for everyone, your voice might not be for everyone, but for the people that it is for, it is divine and it is sacred and it is needed and is necessary. Like people need you for what you have to say, for what you have to give, for your art, for the way that you express yourself, for the light that you shine. Ultimately, the light that you shine, people need it. And you've had a long path of like, not having that happen for you in some way, or just coming close but not quite there. Like I'm seeing you like you're so close but you're not quite there, and it's an internal shift. It always is. Like it's not about you somehow like being better. Like you're like, oh, maybe I have to be better, or maybe I'm not good enough, maybe I'm not lovable enough. And it's like, no, that's the old narrative, that's the old story from your childhood. It's like you are already enough. It's about you recognizing that and you literally having that anchored so firmly into your inner world that is the truth. And that's the truth that you live from. And then everything else can manifest for you. So what you don't see coming is like some huge breakthrough in your work, especially with you being seen, like virality, you going viral, having a breakthrough with being sent a stage in some way, like being cast as the lead singer or as the lead actor rather than the supporting role, something like that, where it's like this old pattern is like ending. Or for some of you, it could also be around like actually being chosen in a relationship as well. Like, because I see some kind of like feelings of rejection. Like this card makes me think of shame. Like, you know how people say like you hang your head in shame, even though the card is actually depicting someone getting like a medal and they're actually kind of being recognized and they're getting a reward for it. And they're kind of like hanging their head more with like humility, I think probably is what the artist was depicting. But for me, I always see shame. I see it as like this shame energy where it's like, oh, I'm not good enough. And like, it can go both ways. Like, I'm not saying I only read it in that way, but in this case, like this character is coming to life and they're speaking to me and they're telling me that's what it is. I'm feeling shame. And I can see it. It's like, they're just not feeling themselves. They're like, you know what? I got the silver medal. I worked so hard. It's like going to the Olympics. It's like the silver medal is incredible. It's amazing. But is anyone aiming for silver? Like, hello, is anyone actually aiming for silver? We're aiming for gold, right? That's what we're putting all this like blood, sweat, and tears training into. Like, are we aiming for silver? I mean, silver's amazing. Like, don't get me wrong. It's amazing. And you should be proud of everything you've already achieved, because that's the other message I'm getting with this, like the silver medal. It's like, you're already amazing. Like, this is incredible. But if you want to win gold, you can. You don't have to give up on that. And I don't think you're meant to give up on that. And I think that the universe is going to make that very, very clear for you. You're here for gold, baby. You know, like that's your role. That's who you are. So you got the Fool and then the Disruption card as well. So it's like, wow. So what you don't see coming is like a new beginning in your career, especially in your light being shining, where conditions were just not available to you before, like with this new beginnings energy, like for whatever reasons. Well, I already kind of told you the reasons in depth about like the things that are within you, like in your subconscious, these beliefs around not being good enough. It's like this new beginning was not available. And look, she's standing on top of the world. Like you're going to be feeling on top of the world. And I think that your light is going to be standing on top of the world as well, in that you're going to be kind of like, the world is going to be seeing you for who you are. The world is going to be seeing you. Like you are going to be seen for exactly who you are in the best kind of way. And you're going to be loved for who you are in the best kind of way. And you really don't see it coming though. Like I think you've gotten used to karmic conditions being a certain way, which is fair enough because I see you trying so many times. It's kind of like, I'm getting the energy of like someone, maybe they audition, I don't know, I keep getting like a performing arts kind of energy from this group, but take it however it resonates in your own life. Kind of like imagine someone auditions for like a play. They really want to be in theater or something, and they audition, and they've auditioned like literally 100 and 200, 300 times. And so they're so used to kind of getting not really what they want. Like they're auditioning for the lead part, but maybe they have never gotten it, and they've done so many auditions, and they've given all of their they've given their whole heart to this. And then so they go into another audition and they're like, I really don't expect to get this role, but I can't give up on my dreams. I got to keep going. I really don't expect it, but whatever. And then all of a sudden they get the call and they're like, yeah, we want to put you as lead. And they're like, wait, what? They're like, yeah, we chose you. And they're kind of like, are you serious? They're kind of like in disbelief. Like, are you me? Really? And they're like, yeah, we thought you were great. Can you come back in like tomorrow? And they're like, wait, what? And it kind of like takes a while for this to kind of like start to like, this like acceleration energy in them of like the excitement. It starts to revs up and it's like, whoa. And it's like the engine starts getting hot and it's like, wait, me? And then it's like, boom, you're off. And it's like you're crumbling those past things in you that like were not a vibrational match to the truth of who you are and to what it is that you were here to do in terms of your role. And it's going to feel so good, but it is going to be like this moment of disbelief where you're like, wait, me? You chose me? Or like the virality, maybe if you're on social media, it's like your post goes viral and you're like, wait, that's how many views I have? How that many zeros after? It's like that many views? Are you serious? And it's going to kind of like take you a while, or like that many sales. Like you're going to kind of be like, wait, what? And it's literally going to like make you pause. Like there's going to be a pause in time where your brain is like scrambling and your whole sense of identity is kind of like shaping itself around this. And you're like, oh my God, I did it. I actually did it. So what you don't see coming is a sense where you feel like you've struck gold in some way. Like you feel like that feeling when the Olympic athletes, like they've worked their whole life, their whole career, right, in order to win gold, and then they do it and they win. And it's like, I just imagine that might take a little bit of time to kind of sink in for that athlete to be like, wait, I won? Because it's like such a huge identity shift, like going from being in training for something for such a long time. Like I'm training, I'm trying, I'm putting all of my heart and soul into this, but I'm training for it. And then it's like, but you actually get it. And then it's like, that's a huge shift. And I think that it's like with the tower, it will disrupt your sense of identity, but in the best kind of way. And you will kind of feel like I'm a new person now. Like I'm in a new role. I'm in a new set of circumstances. I'm in a new environment. And it will be different. Like, for example, if you've had a really small kind of social media and then all of a sudden you go viral and now you've got a big social media, it's like, well, you got a whole new role, you got all these eyes on you, you got all these opportunities available. You can, quit your day job and work at it full time or whatever it looks like for you. Like there's going to be a real big shift and like disruption in your life. But it's going to feel like something you worked a really long time for, and something that you might have even thought like, is this even possible for me? There might have been times where you thought maybe I should just give up on this. Like, is this even real? Am I even real? Is this possible? I don't know what I'm doing. What's going on? Why haven't I achieved it yet? But this whole time, no matter what you've been going through, like this whole time you have actually been healing these deeply held things that have to be healed for us to be a vibrational match, because we just can't be a vibrational match to this thing unless we've healed those parts of us that disagree, that are like, no, I'm not good enough. I'm not lovable. I'm not this. It's like, prepare to be loved. Okay, that's what I want to tell you, group 2, in the end of your reading. Prepare to be loved and adored, because that's what's coming in for you, and your heart is going to bust open so you can receive all of this adoration. Yeah, it's a big deal, okay? Spirit wants me to keep going, okay? Because it's kind of like, imagine an athlete, okay? Before an athlete wins something in the Olympics, like, they're not often that well known. Like they might be known in their niche, like in their field, kind of like, oh, they're an up and coming athlete and maybe they're going to win or something. They like, you know how they kind of like get talked about. It's like, oh, maybe this person will win. I don't know, maybe not. And then it's like once someone wins something, then all of a sudden like they become kind of famous and they've won gold at the Olympics, and then they get all these advertising deals, and all these companies want to work with them, and all these people want to sponsor them, and they have all this media attention, and they become like almost like a celebrity. And that's kind of the shift that I'm getting, where it's like you kind of gonna go from being somehow not very recognized into being very recognizable. And it's going to surprise you because it's just such a shift. Like it might be something you did kind of think, like just like an athlete, they want to win. That's why they're doing it. They want to win gold in the Olympics, right? But they might still have not really thought about like, but what will that actually look like for me in my life? Like, how will my life actually change? You know what I mean? And then when it happens, it's like, oh my God, I've got all these things to adjust to. I've got all these different opportunities, and people look at me in a different way, and your life is just different. And yeah, it's going to be really good. You're going to be feeling abundant. That's for sure. A lot of opportunities, a lot of increase in your income, increase in your views and your sales and your opportunities in general, and in your love for yourself and your ability to receive love from others, and realize like how lovable you are and how incredible you've always been and always will be. Whew. All right, group number 2, that is your reading of what you don't see coming. What an amazing reading. I'm wishing you all the best. And if you'd like to check out more of my work, please hit the links in the description box below. I have just released a Rebirth light language healing. I feel like that would be really, really helpful for you, especially with this new beginnings card. You are moving into a totally different sort of time, and there's a lot to adjust to. Like I'm seeing even your brain like processing this. Like it takes a while for your brain to like process this, because it's kind of like readjusting so many things in your life, and it happens quite quickly with the Tower as well. Like just like when an athlete wins, it's like they're like wins gold at the Olympics, like their life changes overnight. Now all of a sudden they have all these people contacting them, they have all these opportunities, they have all these things, and it's like, whoa, I need to like sit with this for a minute so that my brain can like catch up and my whole kind of body can like realize this is actually happening. So yeah, I really feel that Rebirth light language for you. If you want to check it out, all the links are in the description box below, and I'm sending you so much love on your path. Oh my God. I finished it at 444. Hello group 3, and welcome to your reading. So the first energy that I'm picking up on what you don't see coming is some kind of a relationship, an improvement within an existing relationship if you're like partnered, but for a lot of you it could be a romantic relationship actually coming in for you. And I feel like you don't see it coming. I mean, we never really see it coming, do we? I mean, I remember like you get kind of signs maybe from the universe and you're like, maybe there's someone coming in for me. But I feel like for you, it's going to be like, wait, really already? Or there's some surprise to you about the fact that this is actually finally coming in. For those of you who are already partnered, right? It's sort of more of maybe a improvement in your existing relationship that you didn't really see coming, like a sense of really feeling at home with this person, a sense of belonging. And this is the energy that's coming in for like this whole group, is this sense of like really being settled in some kind of way, like really feeling like this sense of belonging. Like I'm kind of seeing, you know, like a family at home, they got like a garden, they got like maybe a dog or a cat, or they've got some kind of like farm animals, some horses. There's something like really grounded and like naturey and earthy about this group. Like maybe you don't see coming, I don't know, the opportunity to like get a pet, and or even the opportunity to start a family with somebody. I don't know, maybe some of you had kind of like given up on this dream in some way. Maybe you thought, oh my God, I'm going to be alone forever, or I don't know, I'm never going to have children or something like this. And I just see something you don't see coming is actually that this is available to you. This is more than available to you, and I do see it coming in for you. Yeah, and this real sense of feeling settled, like a real sense of feeling settled and a real shift in your life. Like, I don't know, feeling really loved up, wanting to spend a lot of time kind of like nesting and having like a really nice home life, maybe starting a garden, growing your own food, having a pet of some kind, caring for animals. I don't know, there's some real nice, like caring energy. Like I'm seeing just kind of like the archetype of like kind of like a homestead, where it's like you got this real nice house and it's in nature and you're growing your own food and you're kind of living off the land, and you got maybe a kid or some animals you look after, and you got your lover, you got the one, your soulmate, and you're like, I'm fulfilled, I am happy, I got my cup all full up, and I'm really happy. Like, I'm seeing romance, okay? Romance, whatever that looks like for you. Even if you're like, I would never want to live in nature, but I want to live in like the middle of the city or whatever. It's like, okay, well, you're going to be nesting in your little home in the middle of the city, like where you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I got my person, and we go out for dinner, and we got this like lovely life together, and we have this routine. Like, there's something really nesty. I'm seeing a nest, a nice kind of nest, okay? A nice nest that you like to live in, that feels really good and warm and happy, and it makes you feel really full up, like fulfilled, like, it feels so good, and it makes you feel really safe and a sense of belonging. For some of you as well, this could be about travel or relocation in terms of your home. If you are meeting someone, I think you would really want to travel together, or if you're in an existing relationship, the opportunity to travel together and to kind of explore new lands, to have adventures. For some of you as well, I'm seeing you are going to be like exploring your past lives. Even if you don't know what your past lives are, I see you traveling to locations in which you actually existed on the earth in past lives. Even if you don't realize that you are drawn to this place because of a past life, it's like, actually, you're going to realize like, oh, I've always wanted to go to Iceland. And then you go to Iceland and you have all these dreams, or you have all these epiphanies, and you're like, maybe I actually lived here in a past life or something, because this is like really trippy or something. There's something like this where I see the opportunity, actually for all of you in this group, the opportunity to travel to a place you lived in your past life. Some of you might even be moving there because you feel so connected there, or you might have even lived there in a past life with this lover that comes in, and you're like, oh my gosh, this feels like home to us. This is the best place we've ever been on earth. I want to be here. I love this place. And it like brings back this real deep soul nostalgia or something. But for some of you, you might have consciously consciously realized what your past life is, or where it was in the earth, and you will be traveling to that location and having like a healing or kind of a resolution happen from being there again. Like a part of your soul comes back to you, like a soul retrieval, where you're like, oh, I know I was here in a past life, and it brings you some kind of peace or resolution to go there again, and to kind of like, I don't know, it brings a sense of healing to that part of you, and like a retrieval of a part of you that might have been kind of like almost left there or stuck there in some way due to some kind of trauma or something. And it helps you end a cycle of something that was repeating in this life. Like, you're going to tie up a knot of like something that was repeating from a past life, like some pattern of grief or of loneliness or something. I think the main thing I'm getting, okay, is now I'm tuning in more deeply, is like, you're not going to be feeling lonely. That's what I see coming in for you, like a real sense of feeling a sense of belonging on this earth. And that might have actually never even been available to you yet in this life. You might have always felt this sense of, I don't belong, or what am I doing here? Or you might have been searching for a place. Like, I see a restlessness in you, where it's like maybe you were trying to find your person, or you were trying to find a place on the earth that felt right for you. Like, you lived in many different cities or many different places, countries even. I just see a real settled energy. Some of you might be having the birth of a child happening soon. I'm seeing that bringing you, obviously that's something you might know is happening, because I'm seeing for some of you might be pregnant, or your partner's pregnant. But I'm seeing like the way that child impacts your life and comes into your life is like super special, and it brings surprises that you didn't realize. And your heart, I just see your heart being super expanded and really enjoying that, like that nesting feeling. Like, I don't know a better word for it, but I keep hearing like nesting, like, just wanting to look after each other and love each other, and make that home feel really, really nice, and like things that are really grounding, like, a wood fire, or the smell of like cooking in the kitchen or something, like really, I don't know, just really peaceful and loving and grounding, really nice kind of very earthy energies, very root chakra energies. So yeah, I'm seeing belonging. I'm seeing a sense of belonging, a sense of feeling partnered, feeling good. Like, all of you are going to be with someone. I mean, for some of you, that might really be a surprise, because you'll be like, what? I did not think I was going to get into a relationship. But I see a relationship here for you, okay? I see a partnership happening. Like I said, some of you are already partnered, and it's a deepening of that partnership. But I really see, this sense of being in love and in love with life. And like when you're in love, everything in life feels so much better. Like, you go to the same restaurant or the same park when you're in love and when you're not in love. And they're like two different places almost, So yeah, I'm also seeing soul family as well. I'm seeing soul family coming in, like a uniting. It's like souls are uniting in this group. Souls are coming into union. They are uniting with each other. I see a sense of community. Some of you might even have the opportunity to like buy land, and you might have the download for like, oh, I'm meant to start an intentional community and I want to like raise my children with other people there. Or you might have the idea for a community-based school, or a childcare center or something that's more alternative. Or for some of you, it could be like you want to start a retreat. You want to start a retreat center where people can come to heal or to detox or to meditate or do yoga or something. Like I'm seeing a lot of opportunities coming from this partnership. Like it's like you're going to have this dream or this vision together. It's going to be like a shared vision. You're going to be like, oh, I really want to start this retreat. Let's start this retreat, or this let's start a business where we own like cabins or something and we rent them out. Like there's something very nice about this shared vision, and it's going to change your lifestyle a lot, because you're going to, maybe some of you have always wanted to have this, like you've always seen, oh, I want to open a retreat center where people can come and heal and do things, or a community center or a community garden or something like that. But for whatever reason, it wasn't available, or you didn't meet the right people, or it just never kind of got off the ground, or you didn't have the money, or whatever it might be. And so I see like what you don't see coming is like somehow that dream feeling really tangible and like really available to you. You didn't see that it was more available to you than you realized, or you didn't see like, oh, spirit wants to support you with this dream, like spirit wants to give you the money to start the retreat because it's going to help heaps of people, or you meet a soul family member and you want to go into a business partnership with them and you're like, let's do this together, like let's, I don't know, open this business or this retreat center. I keep seeing retreat vibes and like nature vibes, but I know some of you like love the city. I see some of you like really enjoying big city energy like London or New York or something, and you're like, I don't want to leave the city. And it's like, that's cool. But whatever kind of location you find yourself in, it's going to feel like a nest. It's going to feel like a sanctuary, like a little home that's yours and you share with those you love. And, I feel this sense of like loneliness clearing out of your system. And I feel like you might have even had a past life, like, because I see a past life energy of resolving. It's like you might have had a past life where you were really alone, like you lived a lot in solitude, or you lived a lifetime where you didn't have any children, or you didn't have a partner or something. And I see like some kind of karmic energy from that lifetime like healing at the moment, and you're coming into kind of more of this acceptance of like, oh, I am meant to have like a partner in this life, or I am meant to have children in this life, or have a family, or have an actual sense of belonging with like friends and have a community. And it's something that is new to you in some way. Like it might be deeply coded in who you are as a soul, but for some reason, like in your past life, you didn't have it. Like you were single or childless, or I don't know, some sense of disconnection, like you didn't meet your people, and that has lingered in this life. Like there's some kind of like overlay in this life where you've had to resolve that, and you might have even remembered some of these past lives recently, and there's something about it where it's like rapidly healing within you, and you're coming into this recognition of like, you don't actually have to, because I feel there's a deep-seated fear of like you might have to live like that, and you're realizing like, I don't have to live on my own all the time. Like I don't have to just be on my own and like not be with people, or not be with my partner, or not be with, not have a sense of belonging or family or something. Whew. So it's like that is healing, and you're realizing like not only can you have it, but that it's way closer than you realize, and that it's going to bring you such a deep level of fulfillment and love and like wishes coming true, like a real deep, like wishes coming true energy. All right. So, and it might surprise you, for some of you more than others. Like for some of you, it might have been like, I'm just going to be single forever, or I'm never going to have a big group of friends, or I'm never going to want to work with people. I'm like, there's something where it's like, for some of you, there's a loneliness that is healing, like where it really hurt you to be on your own and you really longed and had this yearning in your heart for love. And for others of you, you might have kind of gotten attached to this thing of like, I'm better on my own, or I don't need anyone, or I don't want to be a partnership, or I don't want to share my life, or I don't want to have children or something. And it's like, that is actually some hardness in your heart that like is softening, and you're like, yeah, you're healing. Look at that. I picked up the deck and the back of the deck is shadows. Like, yeah, you're healing like from, it was like in your shadows. That's why it's like surprising to you that this is coming in, because it was shadow either from, like I said, you might have had a lifetime where you were really alone and that imprinted a sense of loneliness in you. Or you might have come to really attach to that from a sense of like trying to control your life and be like, no, I don't want people. I don't want to have the messiness of relationship, or I don't want to work with people, or like, yeah, there's something about that that's healing. Like, you might have been like, I don't want to open a retreat center because then I have to talk to people. And it's like, well, actually that's something that you're healing, and so that you can come into like a real much more like soul honoring experience of relationship. Like, your whole experience of relationship is healing. Okay, that's what you don't see coming. Like, your whole sense of relationship healing, and a real sense of like letting go of things from your shadow that were really painful. I'm going to pull this card, okay? Things from your shadow that have been painful, that it's like, it's blocked you from your heart being open to community, to love, to family, to relationships and partnerships and work opportunities. And yeah, like, I see some of you, especially, it's something to do with a business. Like, you're meant to open a business with someone in a partnership, and that might really scare you because you might be like, no, I want to just do this on my own, and I don't want to co-run a business with someone. But again, it comes from something from your past life where it's like you had to be alone, or you got really used to many, many lifetimes on your own. And there's something about in this lifetime where you're like changing gears. Like, you're changing gears, you're moving out of solitude, you're moving into more of like partnerships or family or community-based life. And that can feel different or foreign, or like, oh, but this is bringing up all my shadow, all my fears, or I want to be able to be in control, or I don't want people to be able to like abandon me or mess me over or betray me or something. Like, yeah, there's deep like trust issues here in your shadow around betrayal or trust, like, oh, this person will betray me or something. And I think that it makes you like prematurely like shut your heart, where you're like, oh, well, I just won't have these experiences then, because it's easier than facing this pain of like being betrayed or being hurt. Whew. So, but yeah, in this lifetime, it's like your soul is like shifting gears. Like, you're doing a 180-degree turn. You're like, you know what? I'm going over here instead. And you might have had like many lifetimes where it's like you just had more time alone. Like, you might have been a monk, or you might have, I don't know, just chosen to not partner or to not have children, or to just keep to yourself, be very silent. You might have been in lifetimes where you really were in the opposite kind of energy of community, where it's like you really didn't resonate with the people around you and you really had to kind of survive it. And so the idea of having community around you that truly like is love based, and that isn't based in shadow and fear and control and manipulation, it's like, it's super foreign to you, and it makes you have to confront this thing in you of like, oh, I have to heal this pain that I've been in, right? Basically. Because as much as you've like survived your life and you've thrived in certain ways, like, there's been this pain in you around relationship and connection, and it's healing. And especially something from your past life, like, I keep feeling a past life energy, and maybe more than one. And I see like you having the opportunity to travel or to move, and it's going to resolve something from your past life. Like I said, you don't have to already know like, oh, I need to go to this place in this country, and because I was born here from a past life. But some of you might know already. You might have already downloaded it, because it's totally available to us. Like, we can know. If you desire to know, you can know. You can find out from, your spirit guides, from your own intuition. It might take a while, it might not. It's your own path. But at the same time, we don't have to know. Like, we don't have to have it mapped out in that way. But sometimes we can want to, or it can just happen. And there's usually clues. Like, there's clues, like, you might really feel connected to a certain country, or really connected to a certain culture, and it might like stir in your heart like in a way that's bigger than normal. And it's like, why am I so connected to this place? Or why do I always want to go here, or something? So yeah, you're going to have the opportunity to like travel to that place, or to travel the world more. And I see that that is going to help you resolve like a past life issue that has been keeping you from true like level of relationship that you're here to have in this lifetime, and a real deep sense of fulfillment from like having that nested feeling, like that grounded, settled feeling of like, oh, I'm in love, and I've got my own place, and I've got my own home, and I've got my own sense of belonging. And it's like, for some reason in your past lives, you've lived without a sense of belonging. Maybe you had to moved, like you left a sense of home in a past life, or you had to leave your family in a past life, or you had to, I don't know, something about it's like there's a real heart-wrenching energy there that needs to be healed, or you had maybe someone die or something like this in a past life that's really hurt your soul and your heart, or even in this life maybe. Yeah, and I'm just sending you so much love for that, because I can really feel in your heart it's like a pain in your heart. It's like a yearning for love and connection, and it's been kind of like iced over a little bit. Like there's been an iciness in you, and it could also look like feeling a bit of contempt for the world, like, oh, you know, people don't deserve my help, or I'm not gonna start a retreat center because, you know, no one would even deserve for me to help them, or something. I don't know, there's something like that where it's like you've been disappointed by the world like so many times, or you've been disappointed by like group dynamics or community dynamics, or the way things have played out in past lives has been so painful and heartbreaking that the idea of having to repeat that is like too much for your soul. You're like, I can't do that. I'm not going to do that again. And so it's going to surprise you that like somehow you are being ushered into more and more love and more of a softening in your heart, where you're letting in more and more love and you're letting in more and more connection. And the life you're living in this life, Spirit wants you to know, is going to be very different to the life you've lived in your past lives. And you're necessarily meant to change and shift gears, even if it feels different to you, even if it feels like, but I'm really used to being on my own. I really know how to do that. I really know how to survive without a community, or without a family, or without people around me or something, or without a partner or something. But that's not your path. Like you've got a destiny path here, and it's going to happen whether you like it or not. But it's going to happen gently. Like you don't have to worry, because there's a deep respect from the divine as well. Oh my gosh, you're kidding. I just looked down and I saw destiny. Wow. Yeah, this is your destiny path, like to have relationship, to have community, to have people around you, like a lot of people around you, even like a lot of friends, a lot of people you consider soul family, like maybe a lot of children for some of you, or you're involved somehow in a community project, like a retreat center, or like a school or a childcare center that's like, you know, done in a new earth kind of way. Or your job is meant to involve more people, like being social, even though you're like, oh, I don't like socializing. But like there's something about it where it's like it's actually coming from your shadow, and like the true part, your true destiny path is like different to what you would have thought it is, and you really don't see that coming. So it's like the next phase of your life you're moving into is like some kind of way that this heart of yours is being defrosted, and you're opening up to deeper level of relationship with others. Like I said, it could be a deep partnership coming in, a soul family member, a soulmate, a romance. For a lot of you it's romance, or it's a deepening of an existing connection in which you're being more vulnerable, and you're letting someone into your heart more. Because I feel like there's something about really letting people in, like it's very painful for you. You have trust issues. It's like, how can I really trust this person? Do I really know them? And it's like you're healing something so that you can have this real softening in your heart, and it's going to improve all of your relationships. So yeah, this is your destiny path. Like I'm not making it up. It might be it might be surprising to you. You might even feel resistant to what I'm saying and be like, I don't like you, Bridget, right now, because I don't want to hear this. And for others of you, obviously, you're probably happy to know that this is actually going to happen for you. But for some of you, it's like, I can really feel that it feels hard to hear this because of what you've been through in your past and in your past lives. And the idea of opening yourself to love is like a really hard thing to do. And all kinds of love, not just romantic love, like friendship, family love, like all kinds of love. But yeah, I see as well for some of you specifically, like what you don't see coming is like maybe getting a pet, like because I just had the image of like a golden retriever dog. Some of you might already have a dog that's a golden retriever, but I'm seeing a golden retriever dog and how like, you know, when they smile at you, like, because they're so happy, those little faces, and they kind of just like melt your heart. Like I'm seeing maybe it might take like an animal coming into your life, like a pet coming into your life to help open your heart a lot. So you can open your heart more to the world and to others. Yeah, and getting a pet, I see, could be really, could literally happen for some of you, and you might be like, what? Or like I said, the opportunity to move or travel that you didn't see coming. Like you didn't realize you could afford to go to Europe, or I don't know, travel to South America or something. Or some of you, it could be like you're actually meant to move countries and find a real different, like a real sense of belonging in a totally different country than what you were born in or that what you're living in right now. And I think as well, something about connection to land and country that you didn't realize, like maybe it was a little bit missing for you like a real sense of like, oh, I belong here, or I'm really connected to the land here, or like this is my home, this is where I'm meant to be. Okay, so let's go a little bit deeper. Spirit, what do you want them to know about what they don't see coming? So we have patience. So yeah, so for some of you, it might be like you don't see it coming because it's just taken so long. Although I do think it's still like see the past life stuff, like where you are good at solitude. And it's kind of like, you're going in a different direction, and, kind of like, a train, like a really high speed, fast train, like there's a heaviness. And once it's gotten up to that accelerated point where it's going really fast, like it can take a while to slow down. It can take a while for the brakes to like be put on, for it to slow down, and for it to kind of like shift gears almost. Like, so there's something here about like you've had a lot of momentum in a certain direction around kind of not opening your heart very much. And even if you've had relationships, there's still something in your heart that hasn't fully opened yet. It hasn't fully been like, boom, I'm here, I love, and like really letting that in. And what it's going to look like, so that what it's going to look like when your heart is fully healed and open, is that you're going to be surrounded by high vibrational relationships, and you're not going to have anything repeat from any kind of trauma relationships, none of that, like no patterns that have traumatized you. It's like, it's going to be, you're surrounded with an abundance, like not just one person, but like an abundance of relationships that are supportive, that are high vibrational, that are new earth kind of energy, so unity consciousness vibrations. And that's very, very, very powerful and special kind of relationships. And you're going to know for sure, like, yes, I belong here. Like, this is my place. This is my place on earth. This is my nest. This is my home. I don't know why nest has been like the biggest word coming through for you, but it's like, you're going to feel like, oh, this is my house. This is my home. This is my place. This is my people, and it's going to be a really beautiful sense of community. You are meant to start some kind of a community, or have some kind of a community around you. It is destiny, okay? It is destiny for you, and it might start with one person. It might start with just a couple people, and then it might grow and build. And I do see like children and animals, like pets, and growing food and living off the land and being really, really grounded and having a really like grounded kind of energy. That's kind of like the archetype. I know for some of you it might not resonate. You might be like, no, I love the city. I want to, whatever. But it will be a community, a sense of community where you share life with someone. Like you can, I don't know, like having support from like a really good friend when you're going through something, or knowing that you can call someone up and they'll be there to help you with something. And it's like an experience you haven't had before, because you've done a lot of things yourself, or you've had a lot of people let you down. So you've had to be really patient. Like it's taken a long time. And it's kind of like I said, that train analogy where it's like, when something's been going in one direction for such a long time, it can take a while for that momentum to kind of like slow down. And that's what you've been doing. You've been kind of putting the brakes on them subconsciously to that momentum towards that solitude, because in your heart of hearts that it is your destiny to open to relationship in this lifetime, and to have that. And you just might not really might not see it coming. You might not see it coming. You might not see that you're like, oh, I really want to have children, or I really want to, I don't know, share my life with this person, or open this sanctuary with this person, or I really didn't see it coming that I was going to have like a whole group of friends that would support me unconditionally, and that I would genuinely trust and love, and that has no drama and has no toxicity and has no, negativity in it, Because I see for you, it's like part of your destiny is actually like, very, very high vibrational relationships that most people think is like a fantasy or a fairy tale. They're like, come on, no relationship's that good. And it's like, well, that's kind of like was the condition as well I'm seeing of your soul. You're like, spirit, I am not going into relationship in this lifetime unless it is like a 10 out of 10, an 11 out of 10. As in like in the end goal, because the effort that it takes for you to stop that momentum of solitude to open to love is so big that it had to be worth it, right? It had to be worth it. Okay, so let's get one more card for you, group number 3. One more card. Oh, wow, look at that. The happy home card. Foundations and achievements. See? They're in this home. There's a rainbow. They got a little kid. Like, it's something really, really lovely. It's really, really lovely, group 3. Like, it's super... blissful. Like, it is like a fairy tale. And it's a big deal. You got 3 major arcanas. You got destiny, shadow, and patience, which is the wheel of fortune, the moon, and temperance. So it's like the moon card, is the subconscious energies that can help or hinder us in our life of what we're trying to manifest. And for you, it's just been a lot of healing stuff going on. The Temperance card, the Patience card is like, yeah, you've been working at this for a long time. Again, I just keep seeing that train where it's like that momentum, it just takes a while to turn around, but it is your destiny to have this happy home life, to have this nest, like this loving kind of energy. Like the rainbow makes me think of the 10 of Cups, which is like the happiest card in the deck. Actually, this deck doesn't have the 10 of Cups, so I feel like it would have come out if it existed, but it only goes up to the 9 of Cups for some reason. So it's like that makes me think of the 10 of Cups, which is like absolute fulfillment and unity consciousness, where it's like your relationships are over the highest light and the highest love. And that's what I see happening for you, is this transformation in relationship and really coming home to yourself, coming home to a sense of belonging, coming home to a sense of where you are actually meant to live on this earth, and really feeling at home there. Like, yeah, this is my place, this is my people, this is my land, this is my lifestyle that I've always wanted, this is my role, like, and really opening your heart to humanity in general. Like, it starts with maybe one person, and then that grows, and you have soul family come in, and then that grows, and you open a retreat center, and suddenly your heart is open to humanity again. And it's really a huge transformation from where you've come from and how much you've been let down by the world, and how much you've been hurt by humanity. And it's like being able to turn that momentum around and is like a huge deal. And it's something that most people wouldn't be able to achieve in one lifetime, but you actually will. Like, it's a really amazing thing that you're doing, and you should have a lot of respect for yourself for the, just the strength that it takes at a soul level to be able to do that, and to be able to go from one energy to another. And, it can be quite a shock in a way, because we get used to things in a way, because like this earth is not easy, and we kind of, we get into like, I've seen it in people's readings, like we can get into little pockets in a way of incarnations where it's like we kind of get used to things being a certain way, or we get used to being alone, or we get used to being partnered. And so like changing that up can be kind of hard and tough. And yeah, and I think deep within, you've known this is your destiny. You've known like, I'm meant to be with someone, I'm meant to have a partnership, I'm meant to have a deep relationship, a deep love with them. And there's still been a part of you that hasn't fully chosen that, or that has needed to heal and from the past in order to choose that, and in order to choose this like really utopian experience of love and relationships that is not only going to heal you, but it's going to heal the world. Yeah, and I just see this sense, because this is the Four of Wands in traditional tarot, right? The Four of Wands, which is about like a really happy home. It's about marriage, celebration. So some of you might not see coming, you're actually meant to get married, have a ceremony with someone, have that commitment ceremony with someone, a child as well. Maybe for some of you didn't see that coming, or being able to buy a home or find a place that feels like home. It could be within yourself, within a relationship, within an actual place, a land. And really having that utopian, like I keep saying, utopian sense of relationship that most people would tell you is impossible, that most people would tell you it doesn't exist, just get over it, settle. Everyone's, whatever, not perfect, but it's like, no, but you're like meant to experience a level of relationship that's very, very high vibrational, that is like a soul family living together, working on a mission. Like, it's really based in love, and it's kind of a new blueprint in a way. Yeah, like it's a new blueprint for the earth that may not have been seen before. And it might, for some of you, might have taken a long time for this to come in, and that's okay, because you're ready for it soon, I'm seeing. So, wow, group 3, what you don't see coming, right? What you don't see coming. Yeah, relationships of all kinds, and the best quality, and really healing your heart from your past lives, and opening to relationship in a totally different way than you thought was possible, and finding home in this world, and finding a sense of belonging, and feeling really settled and nested in all the right kind of ways, all the best kind of ways. All right, group 3, that's your reading. I would recommend actually checking out that Rebirth light language healing that I just channeled if you haven't already, because I think it would really help you with this like switching gears energy that I kept bringing up during your reading, where it's like you're kind of going from one path to another, you're shifting from one frequency into another. And yeah, I see that it might be a little bit, I don't know, a little bit strange. Sometimes things feel a bit foreign or unusual, and I think that rebirth energy would really help you, because you are rebirthing as a soul in this lifetime in a major way, and it is your destiny to have utopian level relationships. All right, so all my links for if you want to check out more of my work are in the description box below, and I'm sending you so much love.